We're heading to Edinburgh and Vault City, one of the best brewers of modern day sours. This is a blueberry lemon drizzle sour. Sounds really good, but let's see if it can live up to the billing. Keep on watching to find out what this is all about. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're having a very exciting day because we are drinking a Vault City sour beer. This is a blueberry lemon drizzle sour, which, you know, just in the name, it sounds just amazing, doesn't it? I mean, it's like a dessert. It's like a lemon drizzle cake with a bit of blueberry, and obviously it's a sour and it's a beer. And this comes in at a whopping 8%, so it's a big one, this one. Yeah, and we've had this one. I've had this one in the fridge. I was quite interested, and let me know in the comments what you think. But I mean, I do like the occasional sour, but I find that it's difficult to sort of get them in, put them in with when I'm drinking IPAs and pales. It seems like you have a sour, I like to have them on their own. You know, it's not on a session with 2 or 3 other beers. But I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. How do you drink sours? Do you drink them, you know, as you would, and you know, your next IPA or pale ale, or do you just have an evening of sours and drink 3 or 4 sours? I'm really interested to know, because for me, this one I was really looking forward to, but it's been sitting there and I'm thinking, no, I'm going to drink other beer tonight. I don't want to drink that and something else. So for me, it's almost like it has to sit alone on a either at the end of a night, and it is a bit later than I usually record these videos. But anyway, rattled on. Let's get on with this beer. So it's in one of these 375, which is not the sort of, you know, it's not a 330, it's not a 440 can, it's a 375. Probably just about the right sort of level. Feels big and hefty. 8%. I mean, you don't want to be drinking pint cans of 8% beer, do you? So let's see if we can get it open first, because it's got a very sort of, it's got this sort of strange lip around, which makes getting the actual top off not the easiest, but we've done it now. So let's get this beer into a glass. You've got the Rocker's beer glass here, and I'm going to see what this is all about. So I had the expectation it was going to be sort of fairly yellow, but it's sort of, I suppose it's more blueberry sort of coloured. Yeah, that's almost a deep red crimson colour. You can see that. To me, it actually looks darker than it does here on the screen. It actually looks better on the screen, but it's a very dark coloured. We've got literally a 1 finger of just off white head. Yeah, looks with lemon drizzle. I know it's blueberry lemon drizzle, but I expected it to be sort of lighter, lemony, sort of, you know, like a pale ale sort of colour. But it's quite deep. So maybe the blueberry is quite big in the overall aroma and flavour. Let's get the aroma anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up much of the, you know, that sort of sour beer aroma, really. It's got a bit of sort of the smell of a Vimto a little bit to it. There's nothing that jumps out that says this is lemony or not necessarily blueberry. It just smells a little like a Vimto. Well, let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Wow. So some of the recent sours I've had from Vault City, I found don't have that sort of, that real tart sour taste, but this one definitely has. And I think that's the blueberry. Definitely a big red berry type of fruit that hits you straight away. It's got a real sweetness, almost like a sugary sort of taste, which I suppose, without over-analysing it, if you have a lemon drizzle cake, that drizzle bit along the top, which is literally like, because my kids have made me lemon drizzle cake, is almost like pure sugar on top of the actual cake, and you're getting that sort of sits in your teeth, and it's like, it's very, very sweet. But I'm not picking up huge amounts of lemon, really. There is a light citrusy sort of backbone to it, but the blueberry dominates on the front end. And then you get this real sweet and sour sort of flavour that sort of hits you pretty soon afterwards. And because it's so strong, that sweet and sour, it doesn't really go away. It just sits on the back of the palate. And it's only when you drank it and you sort of take a breath, as it were, that you think, yeah, I'm picking up that lemon sort of flavour now. Well, there's a little bit of carbonation, probably just about the right amount, but it's quite smooth. I wouldn't say it was heavy. I mean, I had the key lime pie, and that was a little bit more gloopy in terms of its sort of mouthfeel. This one, although I wouldn't say is thin and light, at the same time, I wouldn't say it's sort of like got that sort of gloopy, sort of thick sort of mouthfeel to it. It is very much like a Vimto though. If I'm thinking what I'm drinking, this is a Vimto type of beer. Blueberry, lemony, sugary sweet with a sour kick. I think I'm a little bit, I don't know whether I just sort of had this huge expectation of it, but for me, I'm a little bit disappointed because it doesn't do that. It doesn't go to that next level, which I know Vault City do on a lot of their beers. To me, it tastes like a good sour, but not a great one. I think that the blueberry part of it, if it was just a lemon drizzle sour, I think it would be a little bit better, but the blueberry just over-dominates it. Then you get the kick of the sour, and the sort of lemon drizzle part of it is a little bit lost. It's not bad, but there's been definitely better Vault City beers that we've had in the past. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for the blueberry lemon drizzle sour. 8% this beer is. And I must say, the first thing I'd say about 8%, you wouldn't ever imagine it's 8%. You don't get any of that sort of alcohol taste in it at all. It doesn't taste like a strong beer. It's a very fruity beer, and it's a very sour beer, as you would expect. But let's go through the scores. So first things first, aroma. Now, a lot of the time with the Vault Cities that we've had in the past, the aroma is beautiful. It's a real fresh fruit sort of smell. And you don't get that really sort of sweet and sour sort of ness that you get with a lot of, I think, lower value or well, I would say lower quality, certainly, sour beers. But this is more like it. I mean, as soon as you put it to your nose, you're getting that sweet and sour. So you know, you smell the sweetness, you smell the sourness. You know you're going to drink you're just about to drink a sour beer. For me, it's very much a Vimto. I think that the blueberry and lemon, the blueberry sort of a little overpowering of the lemon, and you're just getting this sort of very sort of red, you know, or purple, I suppose, blueberry sort of aroma. So I think it's a little bit lacking in aroma compared to the other Vault Cities that we've had. The sweet and sour part of it really over dominates. You're not getting fresh lemon, and you don't smell a fresh fruit like you did. I mean, like we did what the Sainsbury's, no, not Sainsbury's, Tesco's even. The Tesco's raspberry sour, which from Vault City, that's got a real fresh raspberry sort of aroma. But this smells artificial and a little bit like, which a lot of sours can do. So I'm marking it a bit down for aroma, 12 out of 20. Appearance, well, I expected this to be a sort of a yellowy sort of beer, but it looks a bit like a Vimto. And it's a little bit sort of, it's a sort of off red, almost like a rhubarb colour, I would say. It's got literally no head on it at all. it's, to me, I don't think it's as inviting. It looks a little bit like medicine. So I'm giving it a 7 for appearance. Flavour wise, well, like the aroma, straight away you get a massive hit of that sweet and sour, that real tartness. It's not, I've had a lot more overpowering sour sort of beers before, but it's not as soft and smooth as a lot of the Vault Cities that we've had before as well. The lemon drizzle element of it is a little bit lacking. You're getting big hits of blueberry, and then you get this real over sweetness, almost like someone's put a spoonful of sugar or so in it. So, and I think that that's sort of almost representing the drizzle bit of the lemon drizzle. But it's a bit disappointing that the lemon, although you can, after you've tasted it and it's sitting and you've taken a break from it, you can taste a little bit of that lemon, but it's almost like lemon, you know, the sort of jiffy lemon juice sort of thing. It's not fresh lemons. It's not like a cloudy lemonade sort of flavour. So I think the blueberry and overpowers the lemon, and it doesn't make the lemon sing as much as it should. I wouldn't say it's a medium sort of carbonation, but it isn't as soft and gloopy and sort of smoothie-esque like the key lime pie one was, for example. It's a little thin than I would have liked. So I'm giving it 32 for flavour. Value for money. Well, it's an 8% beer. So, you know, you're not expecting to get it really cheap, but this was sort of, you know, I think it was more than £6, but it wasn't up to the £8-9. And it's only a 375 bottle. So I'm giving it, even though it's an 8%, I'm giving it a 7. So I'm knocking back a point for value for money, 7 out of 10. And then my overall experience, it's pleasant, it's good, but I think I've been spoiled by Vault City beers. The maple syrup pecan, maple apple pecan one, which we had back in Christmas, was an amazing beer. The key lime pie, another really good beer. Even the tropical sour that's available in Tesco, and to some extent the raspberry sour, are better than this. I just think blueberry and lemon doesn't quite work together. The blueberry's too overpowering, and the whole sweet and sourness of it just overpowers it too much. It doesn't taste like the 8%, but I want something a little bit more. I want more fresher, fruitier flavours that I've had before for the Vault City. For me, this tastes like a sort of, you know, a third tier sour beer, I would say, where Vault City have always been the top beer. So a little bit disappointed, and I'm giving it 14 because it's certainly nice, and it's a lot nicer than a lot of sour beers, but as I said, I don't think it reaches the heights of other Vault City beers. I think they've it's not quite worked for them. So 14 for overall experience. Totting those scores up, we still get recommended. It's a 72 out of 100. But I don't know, for a Vault City beer, it's a little bit disappointing because usually they're much better. I'm not sure what went wrong. I just think that the blueberry lemon drizzle didn't quite work. I mean, I think when you're making modern sour beers, and they're very quirky, you know, when you think of key lime pie and apple maple pecan and stuff, there's lots of opportunities for them to go wrong. This one doesn't fail, it doesn't fall on its face, but it just doesn't sing like those other beers. Maybe if that was the first Vault City beer I'd had, I would have said, yeah, this is a pretty good beer. It's an amazing beer, but I know they've made better, and I know there's still better out there. So 72 out of 100, recommended, but it's a low-level White Snake beer. You slide this one in slow and easy, but I'm interested to know, what's your favourite Vault City beer? Have you had a recent Vault City beer? They bring out new ones. We've got lots of, we've had there's one I've seen, hard lemonade, there's strawberry skies, pies in the skies, lots of those sort of beers. For me, you want to make the right decision with a Vault City because they can be expensive. Some people might want to buy 3 or 4 of them, but for me, it's difficult to place a sour beer when I'm drinking. You know, if I'm drinking IPAs and pale ales and lagers and stuff like that, where do you slip in the sour beer? I feel that it could ruin the rest of the beers after it. But at the end of the day, it's probably a better end of night beer. But for me, I've had this one tonight. This will be my last beer of the night. I've had two other beers. But, you know, where do sours fit in? Can you go on a session with sour beers? Let me know in the comments what you think. And until the next one, you know what you've got to do. You've got to keep on rocking.